Hello and welcome back to Mounties Midweek. I'm Drew Patrick. On today's episode, we review a basketball thriller from the men's team, plus I go out of my league with the women's basketball team. The basketball teams had two PSAC contests this past week. On Wednesday, the teams hit the road to battle Shippensburg. In the women's game, freshman Sydney Reed set a new career high with 11 points, but the Raiders win the game 84-44. The men took the court next. Tyler Moff scored 17, and Eli Alvin had a career high 13, but the Mounties fell 91-65. The Mounties returned home on Saturday to take on Bloomsburg. Early on in the women's game, Erin Gibbons with the step back. She finished with 10 points on the day. Second half now, the missed shot, and Ellie Thompson gets the board. Thompson eventually comes up with it. Ellie Thompson! The circus shot for Thompson, but the Mounties fall in this one 55-42. Mia Leonard had 12 points, 8 blocks, and 8 boards. The men hit the hardwood next. Early, Tyler Moff setting the tone with the three. Mounties up 5-0. And Mansfield was feeling it from behind the line the entire first half. Garrett Cook right there. And moments later, Cook raining. The Mounties shared the rain, and it's Anthony McFall this time in on the action. The Mounties up 33-20. Tyler Moff took over the game, gets this one to go. Mansfield leads 40-29. Leaves it for Moff, fakes the shot, steps in, floats this one up. But before halftime, how about one more three for good measure? Taylor Sweeney. Mansfield led 47-37 at the half and shot an incredible 67% from the floor. Second half, more of the same. Tyler Moff, are you kidding me? The 4-point play for Moff, 54-37 the score. He finished with a career-high 31 points. Mansfield looked like they were going to run away with this one, and Tyler Moff again. Mansfield had a 23-point lead, 69-46. The Huskies, however, then clawed their way back. Peyton Mortley connects here with the three. And then the Huskies came all the way back. The game is tied at 80, and then the Mountie Magic. Tyler Moff pushes Rell into the corner. Driving through. Alvin to Sweeney. He will shoot the three. Taylor Sweeney hits the big bucket. Mansfield outlasts Bloomsburg and gets the win 88-80, the first PSAC win for the Mountaineers. The Mountaineer men had a non-conference match Tuesday against Frostburg State. The Mansfield track team went up to Cornell to participate in the Robert Kane Invitational. It was a great showing as 9 Mountaineer athletes had personal bests. Nick Achenbaugh finished second in the 400-meter dash with a time of 51:17. Kenzie Jones had a top 5 finish in the 3,000 meters, and Ryan Clifford maintains the top time in the PSAC in the mile, improving his time to 4:27:56. The teams travel to Youngstown State this weekend. Now let's take a look at what is upcoming this week for Mountaineer Athletics. Do not go anywhere. Much more Mounties Midweek is on the other side.
To court. under the lights or under the sun. No one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Last week, I had a chance to catch up with track and field head coach Tim McAninch. Here was that interview. Welcome back to Mounties Midweek. Let's switch gears now and talk track and field, as that's the other winter sport here. And now we're joined by the women's head coach, Coach Tim McAninch. Coach Mac, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Drew.
So let's start. Because it is a winter sport and track and field, and there's no indoor track and field facility here on campus, you guys obviously face some challenges in training. What do you have to do specifically? What are some of those challenges?
Well, obviously we don't have the indoor track, so having an event where you got to run the oval makes it a lot tougher. KFC is one of the places where we do our workouts, and Amy is great with us down there. We're able to set up virtually everything that we need. We've got rollout runways for the sprint groups. We've got a elevated runway for pole vault. We've got a throwing circle for anything in those events. We've got just about everything we need down there, so we can cover our bases pretty well. And even though we're limited by the oval, everything else gets hit.
So let's talk about that pole vault. You have three pole vaulters with this group here. Of course, Charles E. Bowen, who made it to Nationals Outdoor last year and has some of the records. She graduates. What have you seen from this new group of a couple new faces?
Hard workers, for sure. We're struggling a little bit right now. Most of it with the vault is just timing, and we're learning a lot of new things. They're coming off of their high school programs where coaches taught a certain way. So it's just a little bit of a struggle getting the information across to them to have them understand that. But right now, Molly Fox had a great meet up at Houghton last weekend. Had a big PR. Olivia Moats is new to us this year. She is a senior, but hasn't touched a pole for 2 years. So she's just getting back into the swing of things. Erin's struggling just a little bit, but she's seeing some progress last week as well. And I think we're going to see something pretty good up at Cornell this weekend.
So going on those first couple meets, this is a very young group too of these athletes. How do you think some of their transition, because it's their first time doing indoor, has been for some of these athletes?
It hasn't been that big a change really for them. Some of them are coming from programs that had indoor track at their high schools, so it's not too much of a change. The big difference for the high school kids coming in is the volume of work. We do a lot more volume of running, volume of lifting. So for them, it's a little bit of a struggle there. We just back the training down just to match them a little bit so that we're not wearing them out in December when we need them at the end of February.
So looking at this group again, and your job as a coach, there's not really one thing you can focus on. You have to be in charge of many different activities. How do you balance that? Balance who's getting what workout and who is taking a day easier? How do you decide that?
It's just where we're at in the season, really, and where they are athletically. For Nick, for example, he's been here 4 years now, built through the program, incredibly strong. So with him, I can pile the work on a little bit more. With our freshman Caden, can't quite do as much yet, although he's keeping up pretty well. He's had a good indoor season so far. We've been pretty fortunate to not have any severe injuries, so that's the other thing that we take into account. We've been working with the athletic trainers. They let us know what's going on when the kid pops in there. But overall, it's just a matter of looking at the athlete themselves and seeing how they're performing during the workouts, and that determines how we're going to change things.
And speaking of Caden and Nick, a couple weeks back at RIT, those two neck and neck fighting with each other to get 1 and 2 in the 60 hurdles. When you see teammates who one's a senior and the other's a freshman who can work together like that and be 1 and 2 and really push each other, how does that make your job easier?
Oh, it makes it easier because they're always working hard with each other. They have fun back and forth, but I think it's great for both of them. Caden obviously is looking up to Nick being here for 4 years and seeing how hard he works, especially in the weight room. Nick has always wanted someone that's pushing him along the way, which in the 60 hurdles, that's definitely going to happen. I think once we transition to the outdoor season, Caden may see a little bit of a different animal basically on those 400 hurdles, because Nick is pretty strong and he's going to be one of the top hurdlers in the conference, no doubt.
So what are the differences indoor and outdoor? What are the primary focuses, or do things change in certain events?
Well, it depends on the event, like you're saying, but the guys right now, Nick especially, we're working a little bit more on his speed aspect. He's not going to run the highs outdoor. He's going to be focusing on the 400s. So right now we're working a little bit on his speed out of the blocks, and that's where the 60 highs help. But his strength is going to come into play this weekend. We're going to be running the 400 up at Cornell. And he's going to start transitioning into those longer distances to get him ready for the outdoor season. Caden will be running the 400s, but it's not going to be his focus. His focus is going to be the highs.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for stopping by.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
And Mounties Midweek continues after this. Do not go anywhere.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart.
With 10 state parks, 2 federal parks, and over 400,000 acres of state forest land, outdoor recreation certainly does live here, offering hiking, biking, horseback riding, ATV trails, hunting, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, and so much more.
Close to many urban areas, but far away from the hustle and bustle, you'll feel like you've found a hidden corner of the East Coast where you can experience world-class, authentic outdoor adventure. Whether it's a family outing, a personal challenge, or even a leisurely walk, it all takes on a new perspective in these spectacular surroundings.
Follow our gurus through the Step Outdoor series at visitpottertioga.com and start planning your adventures today.
as I've gone through school, I've been trying to pay off my tuition as I go, and it wouldn't have been possible without the help of the Mansfield Foundation.
I mean, the Mansfield Foundation already helped me a lot. As of right now, I don't have any school debt whatsoever, and I know the Mansfield Foundation has definitely helped with all the scholarships that I've received over the years for that.
The Mansfield Foundation has helped me out several times throughout my college career. They have helped keep my finances intact.
If you have any sort of instincts, you can get a feel of good people and bad people. Like, the people at the foundation are as straightforward as they come.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. Let's talk some track and field as we are joined by senior Nick Aukenbaugh. Thank you so much for stopping by.
No problem.
So let's talk about this season and the indoor season specifically. What are the differences between, especially in your events, of the indoors and the outdoor look?
For me, it's mainly the race. Of course, you have like your weather indoor. You know, you have a lot of pretty stale environments. It gets a little hot indoors, but I would say like the main differences are the turns. Indoors is a lot tighter. Times tend to be a little slower. And my events kind of change. This is the first year I've been doing the high hurdles indoors. Normally I'm a 400 hurler, and that's kind of my event outdoors. But adjusting to the high hurdles has been fairly easy, I want to say. I haven't done it since high school, so kind of getting back into the gist of things was a little awakening. But yeah, I'd say that the main difference is just kind of the weather, the environment that you're running in, and the turns.
So you've had that experience at the high hurdles already, but what is now the challenge as you've grown accustomed to the lower hurdles at the 400 to get back into that? What are the subtle changes you have to do?
A lot of it's flexibility. The hurdle height is a lot taller, so trying to get over them, you need a lot more hip flexibility and a lot more speed. You're a lot more aggressive over the hurdles. Whereas the 400 hurdles, you're kind of floating over them, trying to get as much distance over them as you can. The high hurdles are, get down quick and get moving.
And this year, also in your senior, you've had people still who can now come in and have pushed you a little bit. How much of a benefit is that for you, that you have someone who's there? You're not sitting there kind of just by yourself. You have that push. How much does that help?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I think people forget that, although track is largely an individualized sport, there is that team aspect of it. And track itself, to me, is one of the purest forms of competition, because it's really all about the numbers. In the end, you can look at a stat sheet and there's a clear winner, and there's little to no controversy. You just got to look at the times. So with someone like Caden Fisher or Mohammed, in either the hurdles or the open 400, it's nice to have someone to push me. I think both of them have that kind of competitive attitude. We don't go in and we don't try to hurt each other's feelings, but because I think we all understand that it's about winning. And in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. You have to be confident in your abilities. And just that attitude of, I want to be better than you, does push you to be the best that you can be. So yeah, that team aspect is huge in track. Like I said, it's easy to get lost in that whole individualized aspect, but definitely comes in clutch when you're training.
Absolutely. And speaking of numbers, 51-17 at Cornell this past week. Second place at that pretty big meet with a lot of really good teams there. What did you see from that race, and what worked for you?
Well, this was the first time I ran the quarter mile in for the first time this indoor season, and it was good to just get the race kind of out of the way. It's kind of like I don't want to say practice for my next meet, but sometimes you forget kind of how to run it. How you're supposed to, but it doesn't quite come into picture. So you have kind of a shakeout run, a shakeout race. And this is kind of what that was for me. It's right where, the time was right where I expected it to be with the level of training that we're doing. My legs aren't exactly fresh yet, and they will becoming, they'll start to become a little bit more fresh as we taper off in our training. So it was right where I wanted it to be. It's a PSAC time, so it gets me on the list right there. I don't have to, at this point I really don't have to worry about where I am until PSAC. So hopefully it all comes together at PSAC.
And last year you dealt with some injuries. Being able to come back and really be full, how much is that going to help looking forward to PSACs?
Yeah, injuries aren't fun, and the indoor season I think actually takes a huge toll on your body because we're inside and we're on the hardwood floors doing sprints. We're on the treadmills doing sprints. It kills your shins. Hurdles especially really kills your hips and your back. So last year I did struggle with what I call a broken back. People started calling me grandpa and stuff, But yeah, you deal with those injuries, and I'm hopefully, I started off really good last indoor season until that injury, and this year I think what I learned was how to better take care of my body. You want to talk about like longevity and stuff, it's just like the more you grow in your sport, the more you realize what you can do, what you can't do, how you can push yourself to prevent those injuries. And that's really what I learned from last year, is how to prevent those injuries, do some more preventative stuff. And so I'm feeling good this year. And hopefully the rest of the team can also avoid injury because we're looking to have a pretty good indoor PSACs with the qualifiers that we do have.
All right. And this week, it's a big one. This week going out Youngstown State. Do you prefer the bigger meets and the bigger atmosphere, or do you like the small, almost intimate meets in the indoor year?
No, I love the big ones, and it's because for me it's all about competition. At some of the smaller meets, if you're not going to be pushed, you tend to kind of go into a comfort zone almost. You're not really running at your full potential, I think. For me, if someone's ahead of me, it's an incentive, to catch them and stuff. When you go to these bigger meets, there's more of a pool of talent, and that's what I really enjoy because. For me, I know what I can run, but if someone's ahead of me, I'll value my time versus his time. So it's more like I don't think I'll run well unless I run faster than this person, and that's kind of how I operate. So I really love those big meets. I love competing against bigger schools. For me, coming into high school, my district was very strong. I had to compete against a lot of kids from the Harrisburg area, towards the cities, tend to have a lot of faster qualifiers, so I'm used to that. So I do enjoy the big meets.
And with this week, Youngstown State, what do you expect from yourself here?
I expect a good time. It's a bigger track, the turns aren't as tight, and the competition should be really good. So I'm hoping to do 50-point low or sub 50. If I go sub 50 in the indoor, that would be kind of the first time I'll hit that mark already in the indoor season. Our training is very set up that we train kind of through the indoor season. The indoor season is not really our focus. So if I'm hitting those times already, it's a great starting point for the outdoor season. So is the focus more time or place at a big meet like this? Or maybe it would really be time. I think place only really comes into concern at PSACs because that's where you can score points. So most of these meets, it's really about learning the race, getting more comfortable with the race, seeing what you can do, what you're running, and how your legs feel. And then at PSACs, that's kind of the culmination of everything. You try to get your place. That's where you try to get your points for your team.
All right, Nick. Well, thank you so much for stopping by here.
Thank you.
And Mounties Midweek rolls on after this. Do not go anywhere.
Part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located yet worlds apart.
With 10 state parks, 2 federal parks, and over 400,000 acres of state forest land, outdoor recreation certainly does live here, offering hiking, biking, horseback riding, ATV trails, hunting, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, and so much more.
Close to many urban areas, but far away from the hustle and bustle, you'll feel like you've found a hidden corner of the East Coast where you can experience world-class, authentic outdoor adventure. Whether it's a family outing, a personal challenge, or even a leisurely walk, it all takes on a new perspective in these spectacular surroundings.
Follow our gurus through the Step Outdoor series at visitpottertioga.com and start planning your adventures today.
Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Oh, what a play!
18 universities.
How competitive is this?
23 championships.
It's over. We have new PSAC champs.
7,100 student athletes. Make the PSAC yours.
My PSAC is passion.
My PSAC is pride.
PSAC is Pennsylvania.
Passion, pride, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieve a lot of the financial burden.
It's a small community, close-knit, it's beautiful. Now, as we join UPMC, it just opens a whole new world.
Together, UPMC and Susquehanna Health are bringing life-changing medicine to North Central Pennsylvania.
UPMC brings extraordinary innovation to virtually every aspect of the work we do.
Exchanging ideas, sharing research, it's a tremendous opportunity to learn in real time with world-class experts.
Changing lives every day. UPMC Susquehanna.
Welcome back here to Mounties Midweek. Let's switch gears and talk men's basketball as we're joined by Tyler Moff and Garrett Cook. Thank you both so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
So let's talk about last week. Let's start with Wednesday's game. A loss in there, but a very good team. And what can you take from that game?
Shippensburg, they're a good team, you know. They're big, and obviously we've had injuries this year, so, you know, obviously we've lacked the size. Like, even some games I've had to play the 4, you know, so. But, Shippensburg was a good team. You know, we played a good first half and kind of fell apart in the second. But lack of size has definitely been a problem for us, for sure.
I would probably say the same thing. Just, you know, going into the season, we weren't, like, really prepared for the stuff that, you know, that's happened with the injuries and, you know, just guys going down that we were like relying on for heavy minutes and a lot of scoring. They're a good team. I think they're definitely an NCAA tournament team. We played a good first half, but, you know, lack of size, it hurts us in a lot of games, which kind of stinks.
What do you have to do to try and counteract that, the size thing and the injuries, all the things that you don't expect through the year and the things that really you don't have a handle on? You can't prepare really for those things. What do you have to do to counteract that height thing?
In practice, they stress it a lot. You know, we got to rebound the ball because, like, a lot of teams, they're scoring second chance points on us. So at the end of the day, it's about heart. You know, like, you got to just box your guy out. He might be a couple inches taller than you, whatever, might be stronger than you, but at the end of the day, we just gotta have a little more heart, and just in that aspect, it was just boxing out and getting rebounds for sure.
Yeah, that's really all it is. You know, lack of size. We try to pinpoint just, you know, going as hard as you can. We got a lot of guys that play a lot of minutes. Myself included, Tyler, Taylor. You know, it's go out there and compete as much as we can. Rebounding is basically, like, you know, it's the biggest thing because of our lack of size, but it's really, you know, everything that's against us, we gotta just go 100% every single time we're out there and, you know, just leave it all on the court. It's basically all it's all we're asked, we have to do.
And how important this year has been your conditioning? Because you mentioned you guys play a lot of minutes, and really it was an 8-man rotation that you guys have right now. Yeah. So how important has been conditioning this whole year?
I mean, they've been killing us, to be honest, but I mean, they have to, you know, because with even before the injuries, we were still playing a lot of minutes. But now that, like, the injuries have occurred, we're even playing more minutes than expected. Sometimes I'm out there playing 40 minutes a game. So
even we might have the day before practice, we might be running sprints, you know, even before the game, we might be running some sprints. So like conditioning is like a big aspect right now, for sure.
I'd say it's basically all it is. I mean, if you come into practice, we're running sprints, we're running suicides the day before a game, even the day of, and shoot around running sprints. So it's really, that's what it's been, is conditioning and just, you know, always being ready to play and always being ready to get up and down the floor.
Yeah. And so before we get to Saturday, obviously this season hasn't gone the way you guys wanted it to. What do you have to do, especially Tyler as a captain of this group, that you have to do to keep the energy up, keep the hopes up, keep the heads up? What do you have to do to keep that mindset?
It's just staying positive, because at the end of the day, you know, whether you're winning or losing, you just gotta have fun being out there. You know, some people, whether they have health problems or something like that, some people can't be on the basketball court or play a sport. So like at the end of the day, whether you're winning or losing, you just gotta be out there and enjoy what you're doing, you know? Like, so that's like the biggest thing, is just keeping everybody positive, for sure.
I mean, Ty says it all the time to me. You know, people have, you know, bad games. I had a couple bad games at the beginning of the year. I didn't think, you know, I played well. He picked me up, and, you know, we're healthy. We're playing basketball. You know, we had a great opportunity to like do what we love, and it's really all just positivity. Just going out there and competing every night. And, you know, I'm happy to be here. You know, the season hasn't been the greatest, but you know, I get to play basketball, do what I love, and, you know, get an education at the same time. So I really can't ask for much more.
Still a lot of games left too. So
there is.
You gotta stay positive.
And both of you guys actually, this is really the second stop on your collegiate tours. What was it about Mansfield that really brought you guys here?
Well, it was Coach Zip at first. You know, like you look at his background, like the stuff he's done. He was a good recruiter and everything, but honestly, PSAC, you know, it's good. It's good competition, you know, because I played Division I and come here at the Division II level. Like, there's guys that could play at Division I. They might be a little slower, they might not weigh as much, but they're still all good athletes. So like, I don't know, Mansfield was a good fit for me because it was close to home, you know, and it was Division II. It was just, I don't know, it was just a good fit for sure.
Mansfield's always been around in my picture. My dad played here, my mom went to school here as well. You know, I went to a really top of the line Division II basketball program in Fairmont State in West Virginia, and you know, injuries and stuff, you know, it didn't work out. Coach Zip was a great recruiter, like Ty said. He really he sold it here, and you know, Mansfield has always been kind of in the back of my mind. Just I've always been around Mansfield and hearing about Mansfield, and the opportunity to come in and play a lot of minutes and contribute right away and really be a guy that can be looked on to score and contribute in a lot of ways was intriguing to me. So that's basically why I chose to come here.
So now let's talk about the Saturday. Able to get the victory, that first one in the conference. How much momentum is this going to give you guys going forward?
It helped a lot. I mean, we honestly, everybody knows it. It's not, we needed one for sure. And it was just like a big confidence booster as of right now, because, you know, we've been on a losing streak, a real bad losing streak. So yeah, Saturday, I mean, it's definitely a confidence builder for us. We definitely went out there and got one, and that's what we needed to do.
We definitely needed one. You know, we've been sitting in the locker room for a long time. We needed one. It definitely, you know, it's a confidence boost going into the second half of our schedule, playing those teams we played first, you know, playing them again. I think it's definitely, you know, a 5-game home streak, you know, going into tomorrow night is good too. So I think it gives us a lot of momentum. You know, hopefully more people will come out and support us after the win on Saturday, but it definitely felt good. But there's still a lot of the season left, and I think we can make a run if we keep playing well, keep playing together.
Sure. Also, in that game, that first half, I don't think I've seen a better shooting performance than that. Going into halftime, shooting 60%. When you guys have a game where you know the shots are falling, we're on today. What do you have to do to keep that hot streak going into a second half? Because I know there's a long break there. You try not to cool down. What do you have to do?
I think early on, everybody got involved quick, and that was good. People were getting the gaps, driving lanes, and kicking. We were making the extra pass. People were knocking out shots. So like when you in the second half, you just gotta, coaches remind us, yo, keep moving the ball, keep trying to get in the gaps, make the extra pass, find an open guy. And I think that just rolled over into the second half, and we just really stuck on that for sure.
Yeah, Coach John preaches, we shoot threes. All 5 guys in the court, we can all shoot threes. We space the floor pretty well. We can all shoot the ball. He wants us to shoot, over 30 threes a game. And we came out firing, and it felt good. But it's nice when, lack of size, but still all 5 guys on the court can shoot the ball. That's great for our spacing and the way we can stretch teams out, and it helps us in games. Three ball helps a lot.
And a little scare in that game, of course. You guys had a big lead. They made a big effort to tie that game up. What do you have to do on the bench and with each other on the floor to calm everyone down, keep everyone focused? I know there's not a deep bench to go to get fresh legs in there, but what do you have to do when the other team goes on a big run to calm the troops?
You gotta keep your head up, because everybody knows basketball is a game of runs. A team's gonna make a run. It depends on how you bounce back from that. So we go into a timeout. We talk about what we need to do. You keep everyone's heads up, and you just keep it pushing.
Yeah, I think it just circles back to positivity. Like Ty said, everybody's gonna make a run. Whether it's the beginning of the game, second half of the game. Everyone's gonna make a run. And Coach Seth has been talking about we have to find a way to win games and to hold leads, because we've had leads in the past, and we have to find better ways of holding that lead and sustaining that lead. And I think we did a good job of just keeping our cool, and we found a way to win. It felt good, and it's going to help us.
So the game was tied at 80, able to get a big shot, and then a couple of turnovers to get the victory. Take me through those final 8 points.
Shout out Taylor Sweeney, because I think the shot before that, I shot a 3 and it went in and out. Yeah. And he came down. I think we got a stop, and he came down, and he had a tough 3. It was quick, and he let it off quick, but it went in. So shout out Taylor Sweeney. And then I think Eli or something got a steal, and I got a fast break layup, and after I made the layup, I was like, yeah, we're definitely getting this one for sure.
Yeah. Taylor, I told him that was an unbelievable shot. He's got a lot of a lot of mojo, a lot of something to take that shot. Yeah. He was leaning back. I wasn't sure about it. I know I can rely on everyone on the floor to make shots, because we can all shoot, like I said. But that was
a tough shot.
That was a tough shot.
So now let's shift gears and go to this week. No Wednesday game, so a bit of a longer break to prepare for this weekend and on the road. What do you expect what do you expect this weekend?
I don't know. I expect us to go out there and play hard. I want this win against Bloomsburg to roll over into next game, give us confidence and stuff like that. But we know that if we make the right plays, we get into the lane, we kick out, find shooters, we can play with pretty much anyone. So I think for this weekend, we just got to play hard and just keep that same mindset.
Yeah, I think, just play together is the main thing. We can all 5 guys in the court, we all know we can score, and it's about, finding ways to do it together. And, I feel like we all mesh very well together when we're out there on the court, and we all get along, stuff like that. So it's really about just going out and competing and playing as hard as we can. And like Ty said, I think when we play together, we can compete with just about anyone. So.
And it's a bit of a quick turnaround too. You go from that game on Saturday, right now into a rhythm of having a long weekend or a weekend to kind of decompress, but Monday, right back in the action, another non-conference opponent who you guys have actually seen already this year. So, for intensive purposes, do you approach it like a conference game because you have that experience already?
Yeah, you approach it like a conference game for sure, because that's what matters. So taking it as like a conference game is the best thing to do for right now, especially with the second half of the season.
Yeah, sure. We're taking everything as we gotta get a win. It's at this point in the season, we've seen them. We know what they're gonna do. We know what kind of things they're gonna do on offense and how they're gonna play us defensively. So I think playing them the first time around, we have a better feel of what they're gonna do and how to attack those their weaknesses, and we can really key in on what we do well. So I think we just approach it as any other game and just go in and we gotta get a win.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for stopping by here.
Thanks for having us.
And we will take a break. Do not go anywhere. Much more Mounties Midweek on the other side.
State Athletic Conference.
Oh, what a play!
18 universities.
How competitive is this?
23 championships.
It's over. We have new PSAC champs.
7,100 student athletes. Make the PSAC yours.
My PSAC is passion.
My PSAC is pride.
PSAC is Pennsylvania.
Passion, pride, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart. A place where you can kick back, unwind, and forget about the pressures of life. Disconnect and reconnect with your friends, family, or even yourself while surrounded by nature's beauty. So start planning your adventures today at visitpottertioga.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew Patrick. This is the Mansfield women's basketball team, and today I am out of my league.
Okay, so we're going to start out with three-man weave with Drew here. So here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Team. Here we go. Three lines.
You
need some instruction.
I will definitely need some instruction.
Get in the first one. Let's go.
I'm in this line? All right. I'm first in line. Oh, God.
First in line. All right, here we go. You're getting the pass from Hatch. Okay? And then you're going to pass the page. And you're going
Good job, Drew.
Oh, jeez. Yes. Ooh. Too dang close.
All right, here we go. Post down there, guards down here. Post down there, guards down here. Make it run. Ellie!
Oh, let's be honest, no. All right, first drill down, and I missed my only shot, so that's a good start. Here we go.
And you have to go get an offensive rebound. You get an offensive rebound, you can play it, you can score. This is the spot you score from. You get 2 for an offensive rebound, 1 for a bucket. Okay? Down here defensively, they have to get 3 on the first shot, 3 rebounds on the first shot to get up to offense. Okay. here, second time up here, third time up here, you get 3 opportunities at offense, 3 opportunities at defense.
Okay.
Okay? Ready? Keith, you're keeping score? 2 offensive, 2 for offensive rebounds, 1 for scores. 1 point for scores.
Let's go, Black. Yeah,
So it's 2 points for offensive rebounds, 1 point for scores. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Here we go.
Last one, guys. Here we go.
Oh man.
Good team. Rebound, Paige. Remember when we were playing? But
We got 2? Or 1?
Shots up!
We have 1 or 2?
We have 1. That's 2. Here we go. 9, 6. 9, 6. Here we go. Here we go, Drew.
Good job.
We're not playing out of bounds. We're not playing out of bounds anymore. Okay, Tuesday, that one, and makes will reset. Okay? Here we go, here we go. Ready? Shots up! Here we go, out of bounds. Here we go, out of bounds. Here we go, right there. Here we go, right there. Okay? Here we go, shots up! Here we go, let's go. Right here. Right here. Here we go. Shot. Here we go. Play. Score it. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Shot. Get that. Because there was defense and then there was offense. I don't even know how to count that. What did you say? You got your whistle ready?
Wait. So if they have 2 stops and we score, they have 0 stops. Is that what that was?
No.
No, like what restart? Again after the shot. Like
So if you make a shot, you just come back to this spot.
Yeah.
Like back in defense.
Jump ball, there's nothing by anybody on that possession. Here we go. Offense got 2
yours.
Well, I'm apparently not physical enough.
Go get some, White. Here we go.
We do.
Reset it. Shots up. Oh, you got it. Here we go.
Grab that.
Here we go. That's 2 blocks. White, get in there.
This one, Drew.
Oh, shoot.
Points. Good. Here we go. 13-9, right? 13-9. Here we go.
That's about right, actually.
You got a bad bounce there?
It's about my skill level, actually.
Well, I asked this one.
Good. Here we go. Black, you got 2. Here we go. Shots up. There you go. That's 3. That's 3. What we got? 13-11. Black. There you go. Good job. Good work. Here we go. Wait till you get it. Shots up. Here we go. That's 2, White. That's 2. Come on, Drew. Here we go. Shot.
Yeah, Drew.
Brooke.
We're here.
Oh, that one hurt.
Thanks, Drew. Good work. Good game. Good job, Drew. Here we go. Elbow in the head.
Time for the grade. All right, Coach. So first, thank you for letting me invade your practice here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's good times.
And then the second thing, I do this every time for Out of His League. I have the coach grade me on a traditional school grading scale, A to F. What would you grade my performance today?
I would grade you at a B.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Passing, phenomenal passing, knocking down shots, getting offensive rebounds. We just need to work on that boxing out stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but overall, did a great job.
All right.
We're grateful to have you here.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
All
Appreciate it.
Whew.
Court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun. No one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college, So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
It's a small community, close-knit, it's beautiful. Now, as we join UPMC, it just opens a whole new world.
Together, UPMC and Susquehanna Health are bringing life-changing medicine to North Central Pennsylvania.
UPMC brings extraordinary innovation to virtually every aspect of the work we do.
Exchanging ideas, sharing research, it's a tremendous opportunity to learn in real time with world-class experts.
Changing lives every day. UPMC Susquehanna.
It is now time for Play of the Week. Last week, we had 3 categories for you to vote for Best Play of the Break. The first category was the women's basketball team, and based on your votes, this play was your winner.
We've seen it so often, and with 1 second left, the half-court heave is good. Hello.
Second, we have the men's basketball team, and a close match, but the defense reigned supreme.
Moff was trying to get something set up, pass underneath. The shot is blocked by Tyler Moff.
Our final category was track and field. It was the closest vote we had, and it was Ryan Clifford in the snow, shoveling it himself. His dedication paid off. This week, we go back to our original format. Play 1 comes from our women's basketball team against Bloomsburg.
Through Molnar, skip pass over to Mack, trying to cut through, lays this one up, no good. Ball is loose, and Ellie Thompson eventually comes up with it. Ellie Thompson, the spin and in!
The circus coast to coast for Ellie Thompson. She is up against Taylor Sweeney and Tyler Moff, clinching the game.
Pushes Rell into the corner. Driving through. Alvin to Sweeney. He will shoot the 3. Taylor Sweeney hits the big bucket.
Make sure you vote for which play is your play of the week on Mountie All Access on Twitter. And that is all we have for you. To stay up to date on all things Mountaineer athletics, head over to GoMounties.com. Thanks for watching.